What up, fools? Tandem.
Yeah, we so we had an interesting we have an interesting episode. Like, so we no intro, no outro. We just jumped into it. We had the you were hosting at the Comedy Zone for your friend Brian Simpson.
Yeah, the Comedy Zone in Jacksonville here. Beautiful Jacksonville. It's in a beautiful part of Jacksonville.
Yeah.
It always makes me sad that people will come here and like that's the only area they see.
Yeah.
Like even if you go you just go like a mile south on that exact road.
Yeah.
It gets much nicer, but like people just see that hotel, that parking, you know, like that whole thing.
Yeah, because they're not really like, exploring the city.
Yeah, no one is.
I worked with Che Dorena. He ventured out.
Yeah.
He ventured out, and he was like, "This city's pretty cool." Like he was like stoked about the city.
Yeah,
he saw beyond that little region of Jacksonville.
Yeah, because it's that specific like square section is especially suburban and just like chain businesses, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just you feel like you're like this place is terrible. It's like
or this place is just like every other place.
Place. Yeah. But you gotta go to like the nice area, you know, walkable areas of the beaches and stuff. The audio you're going to hear for this episode is you and I, Marcus and Dan, and then two other comedians, Chris Buck,
local legend,
local godfather,
Chris
Buck,
and then JJ Curry, he was the feature act, and he's based out of Tampa. I've known him for a couple of years.
Very, very funny.
And actually, I think if I stand corrected, it was our first guests.
Yeah, the first time we've had other people on, and so hope you enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. That's not bad.
Syphilis.
Syphilis, 1, 2.
1, 2, syphilis.
I wonder if it'll be echoey.
That was the only question, though. Like, there's not enough.
I don't think we've ever done it like this, though.
We'll try it, and if not, fuck it. You know.
You get where I'm coming from, right?
I know, Dan. This is what have fun.
This is the comedians at the most finest right now.
I'm gonna I can feel that I'm not gonna be conducive because I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna go do that. I feel like
you can do that though.
I feel like I'm gonna drink and then I'm gonna be like, oh,
that's the freedom of this particular podcast.
Yeah,
we don't have schedules or appointments. It's just like
it's not even close to any kind of official anything. So.
Is this the Foolosophy one or is this something else?
It's Foolosophy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, really?
Foolosophy, yeah.
So y'all already recorded now?
Yep.
So this is going to be on the episode?
It could be. Sometimes I'll delete a little bit of the beginning if we're like fucking around, but...
Or the tea's getting too juusy.
Sometimes just start off with some juicy bits.
Yeah. Like, y'all ain't going to believe who got eggs.
Record.
So so y'all just pick your own philosophy? I'm glad I said that word right the first time.
We sort of just pick topics and then dissect them and stuff.
What's the topic today?
We always come up with it right before we start.
Well, I was going to go with, since we've been talking about perks.
Perks at work?
Perks at work. Perks of, like, I was going to mention perks of rewards cards. Yeah, because I had a experience at a 7-Eleven recently. And the only reason I was at the 7-Eleven was I'm a 7-Eleven's rewards member.
Okay.
And it was like 12 cents off of every gallon of gas.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
and
good.
And then also I like their hot food. So I got they have bone-in chicken wings. And normally like 5 of them are like $8. But then they had a special that was 10 for $5, so 50 cents, and they're big, and you could tell they're full of hormones because they're juicy. like I ate a couple, and like I almost started my period. Like it was bad, you know. But the thing is, they came in like a thing of 5, and they came in like these popcorn containers with no way to close it.
So it's a bag.
So there's 2 of them.
Bag of wings.
They gave me a bag of loose fucking wings, and I'm eating them out. I'm pumping gas, and it was one of those. I got to get gas. They have this special for gas. I'm a rewards member. I just threw on something and I went to the gas pump. And while I was there, a woman, so beautiful. She's gorgeous. Her hair is done. Her nails are done. She's wearing like a form-fitting, like labia cutter dress and like heels. And she's like, "Don't you do comedy?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I do." And she's walking to me. And then she's asking me where I perform besides the Comedy Zone because she saw me at one of the shows here apparently. Yeah. And then I was trying to get social media information, and then she gets a phone call, and she looks at it. And she does like, I got to take it, and she gets in her car, and then she's like doing this back and forth thing, arguing with somebody, and then she just drives away. And I was like, whatever. And then when I look in the reflection of my face, I realize that my face is now slathered with sauce and like wing bits in my beard, and because I shaved recently, but it was like gruffy because I was growing it out for a commercial.
Yeah,
and it was just slathered. Like, see how sweaty and glistening my forehead? Well, my face was that. It was even on my nose, and then while I'm like, oh my god, I'm a slob. And then I felt a breeze, and the gym shorts I wore had a hole near my balls. And I was not wearing underwear. I was
not looking at your best.
No, I was wearing a hoodie with bleach stains on it, and it was just like, oh, what the? She probably faked the phone call.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah. That could have been your wife if that was a real phone. Because you could have that probably was love at first sight right there. She was like, oh my god, I'm gonna take him home. Look how big his balls.
I'm gonna fix him.
That's
probably what she.
Yeah, I mean that was like. Honestly, that would be the equivalent. At that moment, what I saw was like if she was buying houses as a fixer-upper, it was one where you buy it and you're like, I can't do anything. You just have to tear it down and start
too
fresh.
much of a project.
Yeah, it was.
You think she wouldn't tear you down?
I was like, God, how the fuck did I get grease that far up on my face?
Yeah, it's like a Joker smile.
Yeah, honestly, it looked like I got done. Like I ate a pie full of grease.
Yeah,
you know, it was just everywhere. It was everywhere.
Enjoying yourself.
And then, but then this is the saddest part. I go, and then I just kept eating the fucking wings. Yeah, I ate all 10 of them. They're huge too.
They probably got better too because sad food tastes better when you.
Oh yeah, 7-Eleven used to be my. At one point, this is how I got onto 7-Eleven's rewards. I used to go to 7-Eleven all the time, and then one of the people was like, "Hey, we have a 7-Eleven's rewards thing, or whatever." I'm like, fuck it, well, sure. And I signed up for it. And then I frequent 7-Eleven because I lived in Orlando at the time, and I was going through all kinds of shit, like all kinds of stuff. And so I would go and I would eat Sad Boy pizzas, whole Sad Boy pizzas, and I accrued so many Sad Boy pizza points and gas points and stuff that I could just go in and just have them make me a pizza, scan my card, and it's free. So to the point where like homeless people were like, "Hey man, you got any change?" And I was like, I don't have any cash, but do you want cheese or pepperoni? And I'd come back with a whole fucking pizza, and they would like, and the whole block would be lit because it would be like homeless people. Because sometimes I'd get 2, and then there was like, I'm just eating fucking whole pizzas and stuff.
You know what's so funny about that? Because I have the 7-Eleven reward card too.
Yeah,
but I got it because I was originally the girl was like, "Why would you get them?" I'm like, "Oh, I just get them to the point where I can get the free pizza."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, you sound real," and I just give it to the homeless. Like, oh my goodness, you're gonna be such a good person. I'm like, yeah, you would think I'm gonna be that, but I'm not giving the homeless shit. So I have the points and shit too, though. So like, I get it. No,
I use some of my points to buy. They have these. Goddamn, now it's just to talk about 7-Eleven food apparently, but no, they have these like boneless skewers. And they have them in like different flavors.
Where's all this gourmet food coming from 7-Eleven?
I like the taco shit that they have.
Yeah, the little baby tacos. They got the rolled ones.
No, they have the rolled, but they have a little
miniature taco.
And they have a little spice in them. They're actually pretty good.
Man.
But they're rarely ever
fresh. Like amateurs.
Dude, I'm a connoisseur of gas station food. Like I'm a big fan of gas station hot dogs.
What's your go-to? Like, do you have a system? Because I had a friend who had a system where he would get something salty, something chocolate, something fruity, and then something sweet. It was like 4 things.
Road trips, I get something salty, and I get something like just to
like what? Like what's a go-to? Mine.
Oh, I'm a big chips guy, so I like Ruffles. I'm a big Ruffle fan.
What flavor though?
So they have my favorite ones are the Jason Tatum was on the cover on the barbecue, like a flaming hot barbecue ones.
Okay,
those are fucking good. But if you can't get those, they have a jalapeno ranch. It's fucking delicious.
That sounds
good. I heard you say damn. They are delicious. And then if you don't do that, I'll do them. And I'll get 1 Reese's cup, like a king size Reese's cup for some chocolate, and I get like a Powerade or something. Only because of if I'm on a long trip and I need to pee and I don't feel like stopping, the mouth of it is big enough. Like I put my penis in. If I finish the bottle.
That's how I found out I had a fairly girthy dick.
Yeah, that's like
I was like, oh, it can barely fit.
That's a good judgment. Good job. I'll bust your mouth open.
Balls in there, just like in like a space shuttle capsule.
No, but and also another reason I like Powerade versus Gatorade is they're usually on special more often.
Yeah,
and are cheaper. So like there's a lot of gas stations that were like they were selling Powerades 2 for $3.50 or
Yes.
something, you know?
Yeah.
And then with chips, I try not to go with anything like too fancy because I like if I'm on road trips, I want something kind of universal flavored.
Yeah.
Where I know if I go in this gas station, they'll probably have it. Like
Do you have a favorite?
Huh? Well, usually Doritos, nacho cheese Doritos.
Can't be wrong.
Not or Cheetos, the hard ones. I don't like the fluffy ones.
I'm not a puff guy. That
Yeah.
reminds me too much of children's.
I go
Yeah.
Fritos.
Fritos. Oh, yeah, those are good ones
Barbecue
too.
Fritos or regular Fritos?
Either, but regular Fritos.
I like the chili
There's
cheese
most.
ones.
Yeah.
But Fritos got the most.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Weight.
that's a heavyweight.
By
That's
brands,
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, no, that is like that's the only one you get that they actually add up comparative versus air quality. It's like no, this bag is full of chips.
Yeah. Buck buys
Yeah,
Buck
burritos are
buys
heavy.
gas station snacks like people buy Coke, and he tests it for weight and purity. He cracks it up and rubs it in his teeth.
Investing in the stock
There was
market.
some other
Like-
podcasts I was talking about this like just the other day.
Yeah.
And like going like, nobody cares about that, man. Like you just buy a bag of chips, you don't care about the weight. I was disgusted.
I check the
horrible.
weight because it'll be 1.5 ounces and then some are 2 ounces, and that's significantly more when you're talking in a world of 1.5 versus 2.
That's how I buy groceries. That's how I buy shopping like laundry detergent.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not spending this much. But if I get $3 less, I get more. I know. I just buy the 2.
Yeah.
And then we leave.
You gotta.
I get Fritos,
Uh-huh.
and then I'll get Reese's Cups, and then I'll get. Sometimes I'll decide on like a Nutty Bars world.
Okay.
I go over to that kind of branch or stuff. Nutty Bars are
Like a Baby Ruth, or like a.
No, like like the waffle.
Oh,
Little
yeah.
Debbie, Little Debbie?
Yeah.
Little Debbie.
Nutty-
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I'm saying
Oh,
going
Nutty
over
Buddy
that
Bar.
world, yeah. And then I'll go for like I don't know what brand you guys do, but the pies, like the Dolly Madison pie.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
whatever. But like that's the diversity. And then if I'm broke, I always like go straight Arizona teas.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's a staple. That's a poor man's staple.
I just
I
find
love
out.
Arizona.
I've been doing more fountain drinks because I'm like, ooh,
Oh,
that's
well,
89
yeah.
cents.
No,
fountain drinks are the way to go.
I did it the other day because I the flavor of Powerade they had at this gas station I didn't like. I'm not a fan of their red one, the red flavor for Powerade.
It's too in there. It's
I don't
like-
know. So I wanted the Gatorade, but then I realized they had a fountain drink, and I could get the flavor of Gatorade that they had in the fountain drink for. I could get a fountain drink. It was 84 ounces. I don't know how big. It was huge, and it was $1.50. And if I got the 28 ounce, they dropped it. A 28 ounce Gatorade was like almost $4 at this same gas station. So fuck that. So I got the fountain drink. Yeah.
Yeah, the fountain drink.
Do you think you could smuggle a beverage, like a closed canned beverage, inside a filled fountain thing?
I have a cousin that's a drunk. He's an alcoholic. And when I went to pick him up one day, he was like, all right, man, we need to stop at this gas station. And he got a cup. He got like the biggest cup that they have, like 84, let's just say 84 ounces. Huge cup. And I was like, oh, damn. And what this motherfucker proceeded to do is he poured his Heineken inside the cup and closed the lid and drink. And I was like, you can smell it. He was like, yeah, but you don't like unless you get pulled over, it won't no need for them to smell it. So he was literally drinking his beer out of a fucking in this open container law. I was like, this nigga really just found a loophole.
Yeah.
Are you talking about shoplifting though?
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen people do that too. I've seen people sneak a White Claw in.
Yeah,
in
that's
it.
what I mean. Like, I feel like you just like submerge.
Oh, illegally.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't
No,
know.
but I've also seen people do that too. That same thing, and sometimes they'll mix it. They'll mix
Yeah.
it with something.
It's Always Sunny. They do red wine in a Diet Coke can. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh shit!
Oh,
On
damn.
that
No,
show.
I paused because I'm like, that's ingenious.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, that's actually sound pretty smart.
Yeah, because I like pouring that.
Get some tubing and line your body, and then get a little siphon action going.
So what's the sneakiest way can you get drunk?
Yeah.
I used to, when I was in the military, I had a bunch of camel packs. So on New Year's Eve, we'll fucking load up our camel pack full of liquor and just
Hell
walk
yeah.
out New Year's Eve. I'll be fucked up before 12 o'clock.
I don't drink, but I did think of something the other day for like when you get pulled over, but you might have alcohol in your breath. But I mean, I like a sunroof on the car, so you just hold your license or registration out the top, so you can't be like, I smell blah 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 on your breath.
Let you window down.
You know,
I had a car, my window wouldn't come down, so I always had my sunroof open. So when I got pulled over, for some bullshit about my light and my tag lights not being bright as always. And they was like, I had my sunroof. Like, what? Like the window don't go down. He was like, all right. I was like, damn, I can just say that from now on. Like, so that's like, oh, I learned the trick.
I got pulled over leaving Goodnights in Raleigh, Charlie Goodnights, comedy club, and they breathalyzed me, and I blew a .07.
Oh, perfect.
Oh wow.
Which was, so close.
I probably the luckiest I've ever gotten was a couple months ago. This is why I don't like really drink now, because this scared me a little bit. So basically, I was hanging out with some friends at a place, and one of the friends left, and they were a little tipsy, and then there was a cop had the overheads on and everything behind them, and then drove past them, and then they called me, and they're like, "You're not gonna believe this," because we were just talking about like, don't get a DUI, and they were like, "You're not gonna believe this." Is what I love about Jacksonville. Jacksonville has so much crime that the cops have other things to worry about besides DUI checkpoints and shit. And I was like, oh, that's funny, huh? And then I drove home, and the one thing I know about driving tipsy is you don't go too fast, you don't go too slow. You keep it really close to the speed limit. If it's 45, you go 47, maybe 43. You don't go too far. Just keep it.
Those are dope rules too.
Yeah, It was like keep it under there. And I was doing good, but I was getting tired, so I had the music playing pretty loud.
Yeah.
And then I drove past a budget rental car. There was 3 cop cars backed in, with their front, their grills facing me basically. And I turned down my music. Like, oh shit, I was playing that pretty loud. And I'm like, please don't pull out. And then I see 1, 2, 3. And I'm like, oh fuck, they're coming. There's no other cars. It's just me. And I'm literally right around the corner. When I turn a corner, I can see my driveway. And then boom, headlights, all of them. They pull me over. And I'm like, I'm fucking going down. And I'm like,
had you been drinking?
Yes. And smoking weed. I was high and I wasn't drunk, but I was tipsy. And I was like, oh.
How long ago was this?
A couple months ago.
Okay.
A couple months ago. And this is why I like, yeah. Anyway, so I'm like, oh my God. I was like, be as sober as you can. Be as sober as you can. And said, but then I grabbed, I rolled both my windows down. I put my hands on the steering wheel. Because, I come from a mixed family. Traffic stops are very different for So I put my hands in and this is how I operate when it comes to cops. I announce everything. Yeah. Fuck you. This is how I operate, man. No, I announce everything. I'm like, so they get there.
I always feel like it makes you look more guilty because it's like I know police compliance. That you need to see my hands. They come over here. I'm like, hello.
No, but I've seen
the door, gets out on his knees, puts him up right.
He's like,
I'm ready to.
No, but I also
when
I worked at the mall, I used to work with cops. I know that a lot of these guys are fucking roided up and shit. Yeah. They're just looking for a reason to get into shit.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No. So I put my hand on the steering wheel, and I see this guy, and I see his buddy flanking on this side. And he goes, license, registration. And I go, it's in my back pocket. I said, can you let your friend know over here that I'm reaching for my back pocket? And he goes, he's grabbing something out of his wallet. And I was like, grab my wallet. I'm announcing everything. And I hand it to him. And then he goes, he looks at it, and he goes, where do you live? And I go, the address on the driver's license is literally right up there. And then he reads it, and then he looks at, I guess, something else. And then he goes, not him.
Oh, and I was trying to get a drug bust.
And I go, what do you mean not him? And he goes, here's your license back. And I go, what was that all about? And he goes, oh, we got a description of a dark Nissan Sentra with door damage on the passenger side front door. And he goes, but it's not you. You don't have the address of the person, whatever. He goes, you're good to go. And I was like, awesome, thank you. I'm sorry about that. I know I was apologizing. I was like, in my mind, like, I'm fucking going down. I know I'm fucking going down. And so I go, all right, thank you. And then I just put my wallet to the side, and I see him walk away, and I drive so slow. It was slower than if like a kid was pushing my car.
Yeah.
And I just creep, and I get in my driveway, and then I turn off all the lights, and I just stay there, and I wait for them to leave. And then when I get out, because I didn't know if I was going to stumble when I got out. I didn't want them to be like, got you, motherfucker, or something.
On second thought.
Yeah. And then, like, tase or whatever. Yeah. And then I walk in, and I was just like, I'm sweating. And then, like, at one point, I kind of got like teary eyed because I'm like, that would have been like $10,000 and all that shit for. I had to go to all
your
these,
life up.
Yeah, and I'm like, and after that, I don't like getting tipsy. Like if I drink something, I will loiter around the place forever. I'll dance and sweat because I'm like I can't. So now I just choose not to.
I'm just happy you live your life like a black man.
I've gotten pulled over when I was drunk after a show, and I mean like 5 pints of craft beer drunk, like
Jesus,
like real drunk, and I did the same thing. Cops walking up, and I'm like, "Be sober, be relaxed, be sober, be relaxed,
loosen up." But you're so tense.
And he comes up, and I just act mildly annoyed. And I'm like, I'm just trying to get home. I got to get up for work tomorrow. I was like, saying like that shit. And he was like, all right, you just get on out of here. And I was like, I can't believe this shit works. We got black friends. I love telling these stories with black friends because they get so mad, and it's not fair. But it's just, I mean,
I love hearing white dudes always tell me their cop story, and I'm like, how in the fuck did y'all niggas get away with this shit? Like,
it's not even trying. That's the thing. It's like the cops are like.
I also feel like
the first time you have some stories because I'll meet other black comics in Florida, and they got some weak stories.
I don't have. It's crazy. You avoid the cops.
You remember Javaris?
Yeah.
Javaris was complaining to me when him and like another comic, a white comic from Orlando, they came up in there and like there was traffic. There were cones, and there was like stopped, and then the cops were like, "Go that side." To the left.
Oh no!
But he was complaining. He was like, "Yeah, it was scary."
The first time
I was like, dude, what are you doing right now? Like,
they made me abide by.
Have you not noticed whenever cops and black people are in the mixture, there's a 50-50 chance. Like it's just
I asked him. I was like, "You got other stories like this? Something else must have happened, and now you're intimidated." He was like, "This was his most intense cop story." And I was like,
"Wow." Mine was one time.
I've never heard that. It was funny.
Ridiculous. Dude.
I have a few of them. One time was like I was driving up to Atlanta. I had to go pick up my cousin from Macon, Georgia. So we had to drive up to Atlanta. It's I-75 going north. Yeah. So we get into Macon, and this cop pulled me over because he said I was driving too close to the other car, and I was like, "Nigga, it was just me on the road." And the only reason I got out of it, because both stories ends the same way. I opened up my wallet and they saw my military ID, and they was like, "You in the military?" I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "What do you do in the military?" I'm like, "I'm a cop." And it was like,
That's good.
It was like both stories. The second time is because I had just came home I was home from the military. I was on leave. And this dude, my homeboy was driving my car in because I was tired and I was just in the passenger side asleep. And my cousin was in the back seat acting a fool. He was just jumping up, wilding out. Yeah. And as soon as we passed the cop, he was like, "I'm about to get pulled over." And I was like, "Yeah, I can believe that." And he got pulled over to the side, and there was like their reason was being is that we switched lanes when the light wasn't on. We were like, "This is a 1-lane road."
Oh my God.
So it was just like he pulled my homeboy out the side, and his partner came to the side of the window. He was like, "Whose car is this?" I'm like, "It's mine." So I was 19. He was like, "How old are you?" I'm like, "I'm 19 years old." And he was like, "Do you have your own car?" I'm like, "Yeah." But he was like, "I had paper tags." He was like, "So why you have paper tags?" I'm like, "Because it's a new car." And he was like, "Where do you live at?" And he checked my ID. He was like, "You live in Florida." So when you going there, like back to Dudley at my mama's house, like, "But you live in Florida." I'm like, "I live in Florida. I'm going to my mama's house." And he was like, "Then how do you live in Florida?" I'm like, "I'm in the military." He's like, "Sure." And I pulled out my military ID. He was like, "So what you do in the military?" Like, "I'm a cop." He's just like, he was like, "Well, you probably should see how wrong this look right now." I'm like, "I see how wrong you look." And then I got away. Those were the only 2 times I ever got away with nothing. Oh, I didn't. I wanted to so bad. I wanted to so bad. But
now here's why you wouldn't say that. I want you to know why you.
Because he would have got everybody else would have got in trouble.
Yeah, but somebody could say that line and get off. But that's not what you're selling. Your character is not that. No, you got too much innocent.
I'm smiling too much. Well, when he said he was like, you know how bad this look. I'm like, I know how bad it looked for some people. Yeah. And he was just like,
you got charm though.
He was just like,
just charm.
Yeah, he was like, no
other way.
It was like, no, it don't look bad for me because like I know how far you are. And then they came up to me afterwards and was just like, he was like, "We're gonna let you go," and be like, "Cause it is your car." I'm like, "I tried to tell you this." Yeah. Like I'm not trying to be an asshole. And the other time was when I was working at K Jewelers, and I had all the female co-workers who was driving back from Pensacola, Florida, back to Fort Walton. We had to get off the interstate, and when we got off the interstate, I turned off, and all these 3 white girls in the car, and I saw the cops, and I drove right past. I'm like, oh, I'm about to get pulled over, and it wasn't my car I was driving; it was the other girl car. And so the girl in the passenger seat, she was my little side piece, but that's another stupid story. So she was like, how you know you're going to get pulled over? I'm like, watch this. And not even like 30 seconds later, you just seen the car pull up with the cop car flashing. He's like, what? Apparently I didn't yield. But I was like, there was no other car on the road. So it was just,
were these suburbs that you were driving through?
No, they was just like they was all off the interstate. Like one was off the interstate, one was in the highway. So like both times was like highway, interstate. Yeah. So it's always been like.
I had the opposite happen to me because one of the things I know from working with cops is they're always looking for what they feel is out of place, and so I had the opposite. I was dropping off a friend, and I had to drive through a hood adjacent neighborhood. It's very sketchy, and basically, if you were light skinned and you were driving through those neighborhoods, usually you were a drug dealer. Yeah. And so I got pulled over because I was out of place. They're like, so what are you doing around here? I'm like, I just dropped up a friend. He goes, nothing else. Like, he was grilling me. And I was like, yeah, I was just dropping off a friend. And I guess he was trying to like look and see. And then he looked at the car. He didn't see any like special, like some of the drug dealer cars had like the car would look normal on the outside, but the inside was like really detailed and had all kinds of bells and whistles. And my car just was like a fucking 2-door Yaris, you know. And then they just let me go. Yeah, but I don't know. This is weird. I've gotten out of tickets. One of them was I went through a red light, and I was like, fuck. And it was raining. I'm like, I'm getting a ticket because one thing I know about cops, they don't like. One of the cops I worked with said if I ever have to get out of a car while it's raining, you're getting a ticket. Like that's what he fucking said. I was like, God damn it. So, dude, so this guy gets out. I pull into the gas station. I didn't need gas, but I pull into the gas station, and I pull up to a pump, and then I just put my hands on the steering wheel. I did the whole 9. Dude, I even was like, act sad. I was like, he's like license, and he looked at me, and I was just like puppy talking because I was like playing up like how sad, like I'm getting a ticket, you know, that whole thing. And I guess he felt bad, or he was like, this is a grown-ass man. Like, he fucking being a little bitch.
Yeah, his girlfriend just broke up with him.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's terrible.
Yeah, I don't care about my pride if it gets me out of a $250 fucking red light ticket.
Yeah, that's what you need it.
You want to call me a bitch? That's cool. I don't have to pay you fucking stupid fees for...
Also, what's the worst thing about being a bitch? I don't know. Like sometimes you should be a bitch. Sometimes get your way with it
for safety.
Yeah. Some people's pride's too much. They'll rather die.
Do you ever see videos where like there's like a shooting and everyone gets down and there'll be like one dude who's like, I don't need to get down, and
you know the sad thing is that's where I wish I was more of a bitch. Because I worked at the mall, and I worked 4 shootings, all these things, and then like even like when I left security, I did security for 11 years. So naturally, when shit breaks down, instead of I'm like, you're like, I don't like that. I want to be more of that because I'm no longer in that world, but it follows me. Yeah. It follows me. Like hell, when I did the show with Howie, I got paid extra because I did security detail. Because they had people trying to get autographs and stuff.
I get that though. Because it's like you always be in that sense of, I'm always like, I still, even now when I go to restaurants, I have to face the door. Like I have to always be like, little shit like that, but like, nah, I'm always constantly looking at it, like, shit can go wrong here. Yeah. Like
if I'm out and about with friends, even if I'm dancing and then I hear like a loud noise pop off, I'm like, what's that? Where's the source of the noise? There's just certain things I can't break. You know, or if I'm with people, like, for example, when I worked with Howie's OCD germaphobe. Yeah. Celebrity guy. He's never been in, I don't think he's ever been in a fight in his life. Yeah. And then I'm working with you and Brian. You guys are former military guys. So I'm like, so that it's up. The guard is up, but it's not as much because I know you guys can handle yourselves a little more versus like little weak. Oh no, I don't like germs. You know that whole thing.
You fuck around and sneeze. The sneeze is worse than the punch.
Yeah. So I don't know. I wish I could turn it. I wish I could go the opposite direction with it, like and just be more one with the crowd when there's like a loud noise or a bang or a boom.
I'm not good around violence or anything, but I've been described as a soup cracker.
I can see that.
You know what I mean?
What's that? What is that?
It means you can adapt to hot situations.
Oh, okay.
A soup cracker. A white who could adapt.
Because you could fit in with any soup.
Yeah, like
I'm assuming that's what it means.
I thought you said super. I didn't know he was saying soup.
He's a super cracker.
Super cracker. You said I could see that. You know, I can see you're a super white guy.
He can leap litigations with a single bound.
A black guy told me once. He said there are different types of crackers, white people, and he said there are saltine crackers, which are like the whitest whites. There's
Ritz crackers.
Ritz crackers, the rich whites, and then there was one other, and then also soup crackers. And he said soup crackers are white people who can be comfortable in different situations. So like you put them, like it was me and my same dude, but we're
You're talking about like people who can also people that probably came up a little more humbly, like
or like in a diverse.
Okay,
I hate even saying
No,
diverse.
JJ,
So dumb.
he didn't know this expression, so I can't walk around. Like,
I guess not.
This isn't universal.
No, it's not. I didn't know. I ain't
I'll
know.
just be like, yo, soup cracker
soup
right here.
cracker. I'm like, I don't
Just so you
want.
know.
I'm a soup cracker, so you're all
You gotta
right.
come. You gotta have your own it's a definition. Look it up. This is the super cracker card. That nigga's qualified.
You open your shirt up, it's just Superman drink eating minestrone, dropping like crackers in it.
Just a bowl on my
chest.
Soup cracker. Yeah.
Yeah.
I took it as a compliment.
Yeah.
So when you guys get pulled over the cops,
What do you mean, you guys? Or you just talking to me?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. But what I mean is this isn't a bad bunch for figuring out. Like, so I'm saying, like, do you know how to play it? So
I'm him. I'm 100%. I'm 100% Marcus. I'm 100% like hands on the steering wheel. I'm gonna answer your question.
But the hands on the steering wheel isn't what gets you out. The hands on the steering wheel is following the rules not to get shot.
Yeah.
That's good. But I'm talking about the ticket, etc. The whole thing. In other words, like, so he's security, military.
I expect the ticket.
No. But I meant that's what's coming. But I'm saying then when it doesn't happen, I'm saying why. I'm saying is there an opportunity to be had? In other words, is it already set in stone, or is there an opportunity? Like earlier when you played the angry, kind of get annoyed getting home.
I'm usually my strategy with cops is I have to be very polite. I don't do any hands on the steering wheel because I'm not afraid of getting shot. Sadly, I'm sorry.
But what I'm saying is, if you were him, what would you do other than be white?
Okay, so if I was time for me to get out of the ticket,
You were him.
I will. If
You're him.
If I'm him,
Just be white. That's
just
all
be
you
white
got.
as fuck.
That's
But
all you got.
I'm
White
sorry,
as
sir.
fuck. God damn it.
Hey, sir, I my wife and stuff.
Okay, wife. No. Wife and kids.
My wife and
Wife, you
kids.
got
I'm just
kids,
trying
you
to
got-
get
I got
home.
dogs.
My-
You only
my
have
kids.
dogs. You know.
They're also white.
No, but
kids
here's a point.
Yeah.
Like,
right,
so
well,
the thing
not
I
gonna do it.
usually do is I was letting them know I'm trying to get home.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get home. There's always something beneficial.
Urgency.
Like the only thing I ever tried to use one time for urgency, it was that I really got pulled over for a speeding ticket because I was trying to get to the bathroom.
Okay.
And
bathroom good,
he
bathroom
pulled
good.
me over and I was like, he was like, hey man, you can give me this ticket, but can I at least go in that bathroom right here? I will give you the ticket, I will give you my license and registration, you can leave all this shit in my car. I just need to go take a shit. Like it's just, and that was the only time he ever let me go with the ticket. He was like, you can go ahead and go. Like that was the only time I got away with it.
So urgency. We got
Urgency is like the only thing,
Okay.
but it have to be something that the cop can relate to.
Okay. So in terms of the cop, a racist cop who thinks you're a violent threat, you're a black man alone in a car. No. But I'm saying if that's a stereotype, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying you have charm. You're not necessarily that. You don't give. I'm saying from far away, whatever a racist cop's gonna think what he's gonna think. But I'm saying the cool black guy. Does the cool black guy go? I'm running the shit excuse right now.
If you
Cool
okay,
guy,
black guy.
not what you're just
Cool. The funny thing is, if you're racist and you're just a cop, if you see a cool black guy, you just automatically assume it's a drug dealer.
Okay,
So
but
you automatically-
But does he go for the shit excuse?
You can go for the shit
No,
excuse.
this cool black guy.
Yeah,
goes for,
you can go for whatever fucking excuse you need to go for.
No. But is that a play? Is that a regular play?
It's all. It's
I'm talking about for you versus anybody
Hell
else.
yeah. Yes.
So regular shit excuses.
Because the thing is, you
I'm gonna
gotta
check
be,
this by other black
you
guys.
gotta
I'm gonna
be-
run the shit
you-
excuse.
You have to be. You have to be relatable with these niggas. Like this is the only way. I'm second time this anywhere probably said on this podcast. So You have to be relatable with them, and if you cool and they're because 9 times out of 10, a cop is probably somebody that got bullied in high school.
Political.
No, I'm not just saying.
I'm saying I've watched a lot of unjust shooting videos online. And nobody was running the shit.
Nobody ever used it. Look, the thing is, because everybody was trying to go hard and shit. Like you don't go hard again. Because when you go hard again, they remind you of all the people that bullied them in high school. Yeah. People told them they want shit, or it's like somebody who put them in smaller prices. Most cops are just dudes who was in a small situation that got power, and the people who overuse it, the people that shot cops and stuff, that shoot people for none of this just reason, are all bunch of pussies that just got a bunch of power and they decide to overuse it.
But you know that, and you're selling charm.
And I know that. So because I know that, it's like I know if I be over the top with you or I'll be aggressive with you, you're gonna automatically trigger that. So if I can show vulnerability, then they'll most likely be like, okay.
So I was trying to figure out the best scenarios that you can run, which one of them is the shit.
That's the only one I can think of. Kids or family
Kids
stuff.
and family.
That would be the only two ways. You got to either fuck them up in their gut or fuck them up in their heart.
He had dogs.
There's
He
only
didn't have
two.
kids.
Only two times in my life where I ever got mouthy with a cop. And this is how I got out of that is if you're ever going to be mouthy with a cop, you have to be 100% in the right, in the correct. So first time when I got mouthy was remember we did that open mic and they got shut down by ATF.
Yeah.
All right, so the one cop was yelling at us, and it was like, "Go, get out of here!" Like, and I go, "Sir, what exactly? We're not even doing anything. We're literally sitting here, and you're yelling at us like we literally aggressed you." And then that's what I said. And then
you couldn't even accuse us of being patrons. We're not even spending money here. This shit was dead as fuck.
Yeah, it was a dead open mic. We got shut down by ATF. Oh, yeah.
But but they came in fully armed gunpoint.
Wow.
At a mic where nobody's in the room. It's just
y'all niggas all the crowd. What you talking about?
It was funny seeing their face. How
what do you do for work?
How upset they were that they couldn't blast on somebody or rough somebody up.
Yeah, they were very disappointed.
And the other one was I got out of a speeding ticket. Yeah, go check the time.
Yeah.
All right. You want to turn it off or?
No, just finish it.
All right. And the other one was.
I should probably leave too. How much time you got left?
He's at 45.
Yeah, let's go. All right. Yeah. But Crespo he's got to sell some similar security.
I like that you say that I was a cool black guy. I'm like, no, he could be. I'm not. You know what's crazy?
No, I wasn't saying you were cool. No, I was not saying you were.
What? That was a fun episode.
Yeah, it was. We learned a lot.
It's not cool to get pulled over by the cops.
Yeah, that's not cool. It's
It's 2 a.m.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
But it's cool to be foolish.
That's right. I was kidding. Now we're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was
abrupt ending.
an abrupt ending. Yeah, because you had to go do your hostly duties.
Yeah.
That was fun. I mean, honestly, if you're listening, now you know some ways to get out of tickets.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we got some life hacks how to get out of a ticket, especially if you're a minority or some other marginalized community member.
Always have to take a shit.
Yeah, take a shit and have somewhere to go.
Yeah,
usually take a shit. Yeah, I gotta go because I have to take.
Slightly annoyed.
Be slightly annoyed about the fact that you have to take a shit.
yeah. Very inconvenient.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Hopefully we'll have more comedians on.
Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah, definitely got to be. That was I think it was a good one where it wasn't no one trying to ham up. That was what I always worry about bringing on guests is like, I'm gonna be the most interesting, and it was it was cool because it was just like, all right, we all have stories. They're all different, but they're
everyone could kind of just share.
Yeah, because at this point, who hasn't been pulled over by a cop?
I know, yeah. Everybody.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for listening, and tune in.
And if you get pulled over by a cop and you act like a fucking weirdo, that's not cool.
It's not.
And it's not cool to be not cool. but it's cool to be foolish.
Yeah.